thrilling win for the 5 seed. Boise State is into the championship tomorrow on CBS. They await the winner of the 2 seed Colorado State, number 3 seed Utah State. Utah State, Jerry says, is a 9 seed, but today his last 4 in, first 4 out. Look who's popped up on the first 4 out for the first time all week. 8 straight wins for Colorado State, and there they are. And here we are. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Gonzaga All-American Dan Dickow. Evan Washburn will join us shortly. That first game was incredible, especially down the stretch. Very physical. Defense was a key. This game, it's the offense, man. You're going to love this.
Absolutely, without a doubt. 2 really high-octane offenses led by some dynamic players. Both teams will get out in transition, but they execute great in the half court.
Let's start with Colorado State. The run that they're on right now with Nico Medved, their head coach. 8 straight. They beat Nevada in the quarters. This guy's driving the boat. He's an NBA player, this Nick Clifford.
It helps to possibly have the best player, not the player of the year, but the best player in the conference. 36 in the season-ending win at Boise State. Started off the conference tournament with 25 and 14 against Nevada.
Okay, so it's a school record, 16 conference wins, great win streak, but don't forget about the defense. It has shown up in these 8 games. They'll need it tonight. Utah State, another year, another new head coach, another NCAA tournament appearance. Jared Calhoun has done a wonderful job. It helps that he has an outstanding backcourt. Let's start with the scorer first, and that's Ian Martinez.
Ian Martinez has been as consistent as anybody across the country. Every single game he has been in double figures. He can knock it down from deep. He can also put the ball on the deck and create for his own opportunities in the mid-range, as well as get all the way to the rim.
Don't forget about his running mate, Mason Falslev.
One of the most competitive players on the defensive end of the floor, but also offensively. He'll sneak out in transition, surprise you with a dunk. He's a tremendous cutter, and he can get it going from the three-point line as well.
Can Colorado State keep the running going and get off the bubble? Yeah, you got Aggies, you got Rams coming up.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Kubota. Together we do more. By Daisy. Made from only milk, cream, and salt with 13 grams of protein. Only Daisy. And by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Thomas and Mack, Las Vegas, Colorado State, Utah State, and Evan Washburn.
Rich, when these 2 teams met just 2 weeks ago, Utah State suffered their worst loss of the season by 27. It was part of what was a humbling end of the regular season for the Aggies. I'm talking to head coach Jared Calhoun about it today. It was after that loss that sort of shifted the mindset of this team as they head into the tournament season. He said they were too much of a finesse team. They had to increase their physicality, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We'll see if they've met that standard, if you will, in a game where they want to get to a championship tomorrow afternoon.
All right, Evan, let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Kubota. Don't sleep on Dayton Albury as well, another key part of the backcourt. Nick Clifford's got a couple good guards of his own, Jalen Lake and Kyan Evans. Evans especially has been key in this 8-game win streak. Nico Medved, 2 NCAA tournaments in his last 3 years. 23-9, 16-4, with lots of momentum into this semifinal. And away we go. First possession, Utah State. Albury, the transfer from Queens University. Retrieves it at half court. Martinez the scorer. Off the screen. Loose ball. Held ball. Possession arrow. Goes to Colorado State. Let's take a look. Keys to the game brought to you by Daisy Cottage Cheese.
Utah State, they need to push the pace. They're at their best playing free-flowing and crash the boards. That's been an area of concern at times, especially because they play almost entirely zone defense. Colorado State, Kyan Evans needs to continue to step up and make some threes. That is important to really change the dynamics of the Utah State zone.
Colorado State is a really good shooting team. Utah State is an excellent shooting team. That's why they're the number 2 and 3 seeds in this tournament. Late clock. Evans, the sophomore. That's Clifford, the first touch. Evans launches and hits. Straight on.
We said he's been playing well as of late. His last 9 games, nearly 15 points per game.
Martinez hit a lot of big shots. So has Falslev. Jared Calhoun wants everybody on the floor capable of hitting a 3. And he's got that. Albury. The miss. Gatoretzy the rebound. Albury reloads. He missed a couple.
This is something now Utah State has adjusted in regards to their zone a little bit over the last few weeks. They've added some full court pressure with zone principles that fall back into that zone we talked about.
It's not your average zone, is it?
No, they change things up. They'll trap pick and rolls. Ball might go to the post. They'll trap it. Sometimes they trap the first pass on the wing. It's really unique, and many teams struggle the first time they see it.
Clifford, baseline drive. Gatoretzy with a block. The resume for the Rams, they did not have a great November or December, but man, it's been really good since then. Their best win is Boise State. You can see, look, the quad 1 wins 1 and 5, but you know what? They got a quad 1 opportunity here, and they may have a quad 1 opportunity if they get to Saturday.
You know, the selections committee used to look at the trends of how you were playing. I can't imagine thinking that they wouldn't look at how well Colorado State has been playing over the last 6 weeks or so, because you want the best teams in the NCAA tournament.
Jalen Lake with the left hand, and Colorado State has the first 2 buckets.
He's their glue guy, does a little bit of everything. Clifford gets much of the notoriety, and rightfully so, but Lake, a great defender, makes big plays.
Falslev, that's a lob for Gatoretzy, and Rashawn Bemba may have bumped into him while he was up in the air. That's the first foul on Bemba.
Well, that's where Gatoretzy really gets his opportunities. Screen and roll opportunities where they throw it up to the rim, let him catch it and go finish. Probably the only player on the floor that doesn't have true freedom to let it fly beyond the arc.
That went off the back of the iron. Nico Medved, remember, he won an NCAA tournament game last year in the first 4, whipped Virginia by 25 points, and in the round of 64, lost to Texas by 12. And a nice winning streak coming in here. Gatoretzy coming out, and Carson Templin, who's had some really good minutes of late, checks in, just a sophomore out of Fairview, Texas. Falslev is an extremely athletic guard, both offensively and defensively.
You've got to be aware of him at all times when you're making a pass. You see that anticipation on nearly coming up with the steal there.
Utah State wants to keep the ball out of Nick Clifford's hands.
Easier said than done, though. He'll initiate offense. He'll come off pin downs. He's terrific at reading pick and rolls. He's really grown in that area this year as a player.
6'6" with great guard skills. Evans again. Kyan Evans, this time from the right side. 42% from distance. He's hit 59 of them this year.
Got big shoes to fill in regards to Isaiah Stevens. Point guard the last 5 years, holds a number of school records. He's doing a great job.
Wide open is Carson Templin, and he lays it up and in. Of course, the Rams had to say goodbye to Isaiah Stevens after 5 incredible years. They're a great guard. They've done okay without him. Blake curls around, falls away, hits the bucket. What a hot start here. 4 of 4 from the field for Colorado State. Falslev, a 3. Yeah!
Good answer there from Falslev in Utah State. As you mentioned, Colorado State off to a terrific start shooting the basketball.
Aubrey goes for the steal. Evans floats it and missed it. And it will stay with Colorado State. Timeout. Quick start by the 2 seed, the Rams. And a 10-6 lead in our first break, second semifinal, Mountain West. Colorado State looks like a team that has won 8 straight here. Kyan Evans, he's been large in this run, and a quick start here. 3 threes last night, and a couple right out of the chute to give the Rams a lead.
He's an important piece to what they're going to do tonight and hopefully moving forward if you're a Ram fan. But that last one is about 7-8 feet beyond the arc.
Yeah, Nick Clifford hasn't attempted a shot, and the Rams already have 10 points.
He hasn't taken a shot, but 2 assists already. So showing off his willingness and ability to understand the game and take advantage of what's presented to him.
That's his first shot. Rebound. Taken down. Colorado State got it. Jalen Crocker-Johnson. Templin for Utah State. This is an offense based on spacing, and they're very good at it. Drake Allen in the game. Martinez into the lane. Good find to Falslev, who scores, and he's fouled.
Falslev's such a good cutter. You lose sight of him on the weak side, he is going to cut and make you pay. Great find from Martinez off that cut from Falslev. The finish, he'll be going to the line and making a 3-point play.
Those were the 2 words that Jared Calhoun really hammered home in practice. Spacing and cutting.
But he comes, excuse me, with an understanding of the game slightly different than a lot of college coaches. The Division II level, which tends to have more spacing and rely on skill, but then also one of his best friends is Boston Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla. They throw out ideas, and the big thing in the NBA is spacing and shooting threes. He's brought a lot of those concepts to Utah State.
Mazzulla played for him and then coached with him. So if you, at some point tonight, say that kind of looks like what the Celtics run, that's why. Corner 3. Oh, goodness, that's Lake. Lake is 3 for 3. Falslev. Such a quick release. Just a little floater off the glass.
And because he's such an unselfish player as well, Joppa was expecting a pocket pass to Templin, so he didn't fully commit to cutting that drive off.
Evans trying to attack this zone. Clifford. A little difficult shot, and he makes it.
Tremendous body control. The balance off the deceleration into being able to get the runner up.
Anderson now finds Templin. Clifford with the rebound. Why not? Why not? Kyan Evans.
That one was darn near from Las Vegas Boulevard, right in front of the Utah State bench.
Dan Dekow, you were a great three-point shooter at Gonzaga. It got you to the NBA where you specialized there. One way to beat the zone is to bust it from outside.
Well, what that's going to do is open up. They have to converge and close out further out on the floor. So now you can beat it in other ways. Dribble penetration in the middle as well as flashes, because there's more space in the middle of the floor.
Clifford, baseline drive, falling away. That's a high-quality shot by Neat Clifford on the baseline. Colorado State is red hot. They've hit 8 of 11, 4 from distance, and a big lead early in the Mountain West semifinal. I'm not sure what kind of defense would slow this shooting down. Colorado State is coming out hot. Neat Clifford, nifty footwork there. Third three from Kyan Evans. That's something.
That final one of that highlight package, that's an NBA move right there.
Let's check in with Evan Washburn. Evan?
Yeah, Rich, you're 100% right. They'll take those deep threes from Evans, but clearly in that huddle, and the reason for that timeout, Coach Calhoun just wanted to challenge his guys. Again, the physicality defensively. That was something coming off the loss by 27 a few weeks ago that they had to change, and he doesn't like the way it's starting on that end.
Good stuff, Evan, and they're hoping it changes on a neutral floor as well. Utah State beat him up in Logan. Albury off a handoff, runs right into Clifford. Late clock, false left. So good at this against Bourne. Into the corner. 2 on the shot clock. It's a block, and that bails out the possession with 2 to shoot.
That whole possession, though, was well guarded by Colorado State before that foul. It's such a difficult ask because Utah State runs a lot of good actions. Wide pin downs, dribble handoffs, split actions. You always have to be aware and be underneath the action that's going on.
Ethan Morton checks into the game and promptly fouls false left. Nico Medved. And that looked like it should have been shooting.
That should have been shooting.
That should have been shooting. I mean,
well, that's where Falso has to fully commit to that shot and sell it to the official.
Allen's miss. Clifford at 6'6" and a guard. Is an incredible rebounder. There's Williams going hard, and he scores. He's like the 4th guard. First off the bench, Keyshawn Williams, who had a big 3 last night, is in the books tonight.
Well, he's a guard that's wired to score. It's taken a bit of a time to get comfortable in Fort Collins, but at Northern Illinois 2 years ago, averaged around 18 a game before injuring his knee. Was almost 2 years before he really felt right. He's been playing well as of late.
He missed 667 days. That's a long time.
It's a long time. I've had some injuries over the course of my career, but that's staying dedicated to the process and loving the game, doing everything it takes to get back.
23-11 start for Colorado State. Jordy Barnes in the ball game for Utah State. Akano, he adds scoring off the bench. Templin, a rugged big, is knocked to the floor. Kyle Jorgensen got his money's worth. The freshman out of Minneapolis with a foul.
This is a battle of 2 guys on the interior who aren't afraid of physical contact. Templin searches it out. Jorgensen not backing down and delivering blows himself.
Isaac Johnson in the ball game. That's Johnson with the ball. Akano. Spinning, kicking. Barnes, the walk-on, missed badly. Templin fouled to the line. Right now, Jared Calhoun is searching for something. Because he's not emptied his bench, but he's put a lot of reserves in, hoping for a spark.
Well, Barnes misses the 3 from the wing. Templin, a good job of getting to an open area. Most 3s, if taken from a wing, are going to be missed on the opposite side. Templin, the awareness to get in good position.
Utah State 71% from the free throw line. Very good from the field, very good from three. So full court pressure. This is Bowen Bourne, the transfer from Northern Iowa. Good three-point shooter. Jorgensen handoff to Lake. Lake gets in and scores and gets to the line. And the onslaught continues for Colorado State.
Colorado State is on an absolute tear. 12-1 run. Everybody is getting involved. Don't go anywhere. We got a good one offensively. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota.
Here back in Vegas, Coach, not much to ask about that offense. Pretty hot start on that side. So I'll go defensive. What are the priorities on that side?
You know, I think we're playing really, really hard. You know, we've had a couple of silly fouls here. We've screwed up a couple of late switches. But I really like our intensity and the force that we're playing with. So we brought a lot of juice to this game so far, but it's early. And they're going to come back after us here, so we got to keep up the intensity.
Respect.
Thanks.
All right, Evan. 25-12. Is the start for Colorado State. You saw the numbers are 10 of 13 from the field, 4 of 4 from distance. Jalen Lake, who had a rough quarterfinal, he was 1 of 8 from the field last night, completes a three-point play. Lake now with 10 to lead the Rams, and he's a perfect 4 of 4 from the field. And the bench is still in, mostly for Utah State, with Barnes, Johnson, false left driving, and it stays with the Aggies. It was close. Boyd thought it went off the leg of false left.
Those are the ones where I'm glad I'm not an official, because it could have gone either way.
That is what Utah State needs. That man is their scorer, Ian Martinez, 17 a game, first team, all Mountain West.
Averages nearly 2.5 made threes per game, almost 40% clip. So find ways to get him more opportunities. They got to find somebody besides Falslev to step up right now.
How do you change the zone, which is something they do a lot, but every time they've changed it, it hasn't worked. Finally, a missed three from Jalen Lake.
Well, they can change the zone in many different ways. Pick and roll occurs, whether it's a step up from block to up top on the floor, or a side pick and roll. You can trap it, or you can trap the first pass many times. But the biggest thing in the zone is always awareness, communicating out who's got what responsibility quickly.
Falslev for Templin, good catch. That's a terrific play by Templin. It was contested on the lob. He grabbed it, kept it, and then scored it. This zone has given a lot of people problems. It's not a conventional 2-3. It's half matchup, half man. Kind of an interchangeable part. Lake, suddenly the threes aren't going, but Bourne has a big offensive rebound. Crocker Johnson. That was way off.
Last couple of possessions haven't been great for Colorado State. You like Crocker Johnson to shoot that three.
Oh, catch. And a collision, and Johnson got it on the cylinder, and it rolled down in. And all of a sudden, signs of life from Utah State. The Aggies on a nice run, cut the lead down to 7. Semifinal in the Mountain West. Colorado State sprinted to a 13-point lead. It's back down to 7. And here's how the Aggies have come back.
Well, they've just stuck with what has been successful all season long. Making plays for other Wizards, setting a good screen, getting the ball up the floor quickly, and looking for an advance at the rim. The last couple minutes has been more in line with what has made them successful this year.
You heard Evans' report on physicality and the need for it for Utah State. Have you seen that over the last 2 minutes?
I have, and a big part is Carson Temple. He really comes out, plays hard. He doesn't back down. Oh, that might have been an over and back on first glance from Colorado State.
That is going to be a tie-up, or is it a foul? It looked like a held ball, and they've called a foul on false left.
Good job officiating. It looked in slow motion as if he did establish himself in the front court first.
Neat Clifford back in, Ethan Morton, and Kyan Evans.
But to your point in regards to the physicality, a lot of times in the zone, because you don't have an individual matchup each time down the floor, it's easier to not kind of match an opponent's physicality. So there is some truth to what has been talked about in regards to Utah State. But I agree, Coach Calhoun has really got them playing more physical as of late.
Of course, this arena is home to one of the most famous zones in all of college basketball history. Jerry Tarkanian, the Amoeba Zone.
Well, they had a tremendous roster of athletes, high IQ players they could do that with. Stacey Augmon, Greg Anthony, Larry Johnson.
And they put Augmon at the top.
His length, his instincts, that was something to deal with if you were an opposing guard.
Aggies can cut it a little closer. Jordy Barnes has played quality minutes here. False left. Stays with Utah State.
False left gets a good look. Not able to knock it down. Morton just not able to corral it.
False left's got 2 personal fouls. He sits down. That's a big loss. Martinez is in.
Barnes has passed up a couple looks after missing that first 3 from the left wing. Really hasn't been aggressive looking to shoot.
Barnes trying to clear himself for a 3. Clock is down. Creative shot. Never had a chance. Clifford in transition. Evans down the lane. And he's fouled. Templin, the reach.
Carson Templin, his first personal. 65.
Jerry Calhoun, coming from Division II, is very unique offensively and defensively. And in this game, this semifinal game, you fall behind by 13. His move, all right, all the reserves, you're in. Give it a shot. And this bench has given him really good minutes and brought it back to 7 points.
Well, they've done that on occasion this year. They're not afraid to go 10, sometimes 11 deep.
Clifford. And that was over the 7-footer, Isaac Johnson. Leads 10.
That's another area in Clifford's game he's really grown. A season ago, or even his 2 years in Colorado, I wouldn't have really been worried if I was an opposing coach about his ability to raise up on a pick and roll and knock down a 3, but that is showing growth. Morton,
the Purdue transfer, falling on the baseline. And that's going to be a Utah State foul and a timeout. The Rams, 8 straight wins and a quick start here in Las Vegas in the Mountain West. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota.
Back here at the Thomas Mack. Well, Coach, you made that big sub with all 5. It clearly gave you some momentum, especially defensively. What do you want to continue to see on that end?
Yeah, we just got to hang in there. Obviously not playing very well. You got to credit Colorado State, but we got to impose our will a little bit. Thought we did that the last couple of possessions.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Evan. 29-19. Colorado State on top. The winner of this game gets Boise State tomorrow, 6 Eastern on CBS. See the 3-point shooting. That's the key to Colorado State's quick start.
Look, both really good shooting teams, but they do it in different ways. Utah State runs a lot of wide pin downs, split actions to confuse the defense. Colorado State, a lot of their threes come on spray outs with Kyan Evans and in particular Neat Clifford's penetration.
During the month of March, Jersey Mike's will be collecting donations in support of over 200 local charities. Visit your local Jersey Mike's to participate. Purdue transfer. Ethan Morton played 4 years at Purdue. Missed a free throw, offensive rebound to the Rams. Bourne, Evans, and Clifford in the backcourt for Colorado State. Joppa with a screen. Evans too fancy. Albury on the break. 2 men to beat, and he beats them both.
There's many times over the course of this season, he's a one-man fast break, extremely quick in the open floor, and he is aggressive when he gets those opportunities.
Joppa, catch, finish. He's getting more and more minutes because he's getting better with every game. Nikola Joppa, Serbia, and he transferred from Long Island University. Albury somehow got it up and in.
Terrific finish. Joppa on the weak side came over to help. Albury spins away from the contact and the pressure.
Drake Allen with the foul.
Getting a look at the defensive pressure from Utah State. Kyan Evans gets bailed out in a way. Understanding against a zone that will trap many times. If two get committed to you, spin move's probably not the right method of attack. Find an angle to be able to deliver it to an open teammate.
Rams are normally money at the line. 10th in the nation at 79%.
That was one of the differences in our first game. Boise State, a really good free throw shooting team. Made a lot of big ones down the stretch.
Templin misses on the threes, a 32% three-point shooter. Clifford has been drawing double teams in this zone. Evans working against Tucker Anderson. Bourne. Clifford. Well, you defend for the whole shot clock and then give up an offensive rebound.
Clifford just does not allow himself to get blocked out, regardless if it's on the defensive end or in this case the offensive end. He snakes his way in there.
You and I had a game earlier this season in Fort Collins, San Diego State at Colorado State. There were 21 NBA scouts in attendance that night. And this was the guy they wanted to see, and he dominated that night. They also got to look at Miles Bird of San Diego State, and they also really like Magoon Guath that night.
Magoon Guath has a ton of potential, but Neat Clifford is the best NBA prospect in this league. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a first-round pick.
Let's check in with Evan.
Yeah, guys, he put his name in the draft last year, worked out for about 15 to 20 teams, and the response was get bigger and stronger, work on your shooting, and specific to the physicality, talking to Neek earlier today, he spent so much time in the weight room in the offseason, put on nearly 10 pounds, but just also has better command and presence with that frame.
Evan had a pretty good finish to the regular season. He went for 36 points on the road in Boise. And a 10-point win. And a rebound and a foul. And that's going against Utah State.
Jared Calhoun, and neither did the Utah State fans agree with that. We get another look. Wow, that's just two big guys going after a loose ball on the glass. Isaac Davis whistled for the foul. Very easily could have been called on Nikola Joppa as well.
Joppa, not a lot of free throws this year. That was just his 8th. And he's made 6. Jalen Crocker-Johnson back in. lead is 12. Albury into traffic. And a block on Clifford. That's his first personal.
His first. Team 7.
He was there, but he wasn't there. And then I think the deciding factor would have been the fact he tried to sell it as a charge. Made it look worse than the contact probably really was. I could have seen that first foul being called actually on Bowen Bourne with the rake while he was in the gap defensively.
If you want to know more about Utah State's roster, just pull out the media guide from the Atlantic Sun Conference of last year, because some of their key guys came in the portal from the Atlantic Sun. Albury came from Queens University. Anderson came from Central Arkansas. Ganaretzi, no, he was already here. And Tucker Anderson. So they had 3 guys from the Atlantic Sun that have made up part of their rotation. They had Martinez and Falslev retained from last year. This is Evans. Crocker Johnson. Big and strong and left-handed, and a foul. And again, it looked like Davis was in the middle of it.
A great job initially defensively from Anderson, taking away the left hand of Crocker Johnson. That is on Isaac Davis, his second. But with the way that Jared Calhoun subs, there'll be another opportunity coming for someone else shortly, I would imagine.
So it wasn't like he, you know, the amazing thing about this run of coaches at Utah State is they didn't all inherit, you know, a great team. They had to get guys to come with them. And they did. Ryan Odom did. Danny Sprinkle did, certainly, from Montana State. Jared Calhoun saw guys that he liked, really played the portal.
Well, it comes down to Utah State and the local community really support this basketball program. So there's kind of a foundation of a culture of winning that's already been created. And then when you get a coach that has a system and he finds guys that fit that system, you can be successful in a hurry, and that's been proven time and time again.
Long 3 is off. It's Tucker Anderson with the miss. Martinez the rebound. Falslev's back in. That's a heck of a play to keep the possession and miss the 3. It's not dropping right now for Utah State. 2 of 11 from 3. During this month of March, CBS Sports celebrates Women's History Month, honoring the role of women, inspiring generations to move forward. First semifinal, comeback win for Boise State. Thrilling win against a really good New Mexico team. New Mexico, the #1 seed in this tournament. Boise, the 5 seed. They're into the championship game. Winner of this one. Meet them tomorrow on CBS 6 Eastern. Good rotation. Lake corner 3. Got it.
Lake has been tremendous. 13 points now. 5 of 7 from the field. Does such a good job of just taking what the defense gives him. Lets the game come to him.
That's an offensive foul on Akano. Watch Akano.
That's just a frustration foul from Akano. Kyan Evans, a good job of initially taking the contact of going into the screen. Akano, a frustration foul. Knocks him over.
It looked like he was drive blocking. A frustrating start here for Utah State. Clifford backing in. Doubled, in trouble, and throws it away.
Tremendous trap that time out of the zone. Clifford actually traveled, got away with one there, but that pressure results in a turnover.
As miserable as this has been for Utah State, and it has been miserable, they're down 39-25. These last 4 minutes are an opportunity to not get all the way out of it, but start to dig out of it.
You're right. We saw it from Boise State each of the last 2 days. A terrific end to the first half gives them momentum going into the second.
That's not a good start to the last 4 minutes for Utah State. Frustration for the Utah State Aggies. Colorado State hot and on top, 39-25. E48 left in this first half. Colorado State's got 39 points already in a sizable lead. Coming up, AT&T. Oh, goodness. AT&T at the half. Ice Young. Stover's knocked out. Look at Rothstein. Roy Hibbert. That's Rothstein's bear who's sleeping, because we all know that John Rothstein doesn't sleep until May.
Busy working those phones, trying to find the latest scoop in the world of college basketball. The latest scoop might be Jalen Lake off to a hot start. 13 points tonight, 5 of 7. He's been very opportunistic when he attacks this zone off the bounce, as well as on the catch with ball reversals.
AT&T at the half coming up. If Colorado State keeps this up, they may be over 50 by the time we get to John Rothstein's teddy bear. Press break. Colorado State has handled the pressure. Not a lot of turnovers in this game. 5 combined. 3 for Utah State. Crocker Johnson. And Akano gets a hand on it, knocks it loose. And a foul on Colorado State. Crocker Johnson, Utah State gets to the line.
When you're struggling to score the way that Utah State has, any chance to get to the free throw line and take advantage of easy opportunities is looked at as a blessing. Joppa. Yeah. This is another chance, though, as well for Martinez, who struggled tonight with only 3 points, 1 made 3, to find a way to get untrapped.
Misses, and an opportunity through their fingertips. Martinez had 17 last night against UNLV. It was not vintage Utah State last night. UNLV pushed them at times. And a travel and a turnover.
Well, UNLV is an interesting team. They played well down the stretch of the season, but had some injuries, in particular Didon Thomas. He was shorthanded in the conference tournament. It's hard to find ways to win.
Boslev is back in with his 2 fouls. Aubrey was looking to get it to him. Gadaretse
got away with travel.
Martinez comes to rescue the ball. Dumps it off, and Gadaretse with the dunk. And some positivity for Utah State.
So worried about Martinez. That help comes up, allowing the easy dump down to Gadaretse. Joppa gives ground, but then he doesn't close that gap without allowing an angle to drop it off to Gadaretse. That's an easy finish. 75% field goal shooter on the season. He's not going to miss that.
Frustrating half. Evans to the line, shoots 2, and that one scoots in.
But if you're Utah State, you want to finish this half on a positive note. Mention how Boise State did that the last 2 games here at the Mountain West tournament. Give yourself something positive to reflect on going into half court. Make the adjustments that you see are going to be impactful, and then come out with a ton of energy. They've been a team that has really scored it at a high clip throughout the season. That shouldn't change.
Boslev, little runner trying to float it up. And a missed shot there. 40% from the field for Utah State. Corner 3, and that's good. Even Crocker Johnson is getting in on the act. Biggest lead for Colorado State. 7 threes already. Martinez through the defense. Albury, a miss, and the Rams can do nothing wrong right now.
A terrific extra pass late to Crocker Johnson. That's not his focus, but he does have the ability to step out. Averages about 1 made 3 a game.
Final 2 minutes. You can see how hot Colorado State is right now. Clifford, why not? Nick Clifford. Can he shoot NBA threes? I guess so.
That's just tremendous patience, reading how the defense is guarding different actions. And you're not going to guard him chest to chest. He's going to let it fly.
False slip. Martinez, quick trigger. Off. Spins and misses. A 20-point lead. Final minute, first half. Something, oh man, this Utah State offense is as discombobulated as I've seen them all year.
We've called their games a few times, watched plenty of film on them, and this is not their usual patience. Yes, they want to play fast, attack in transition. But Falsleb doesn't have anything there. Usually they are much more organized getting into how they want to attack.
And remember, 8-game win streak, all those nice offensive numbers, but the defense for Colorado State has helped drive the bus.
Yeah, in that win streak, forcing their opponents to right around 41% field goal percentage shooting. It's the details I think that Nico Medved is so good at in regards to preparing for opponents.
Martinez trying to force the action. His shot blocked. Crocker Johnson, I think, had it.
Nice job from Joppa and being vertical on the challenge, as well as Crocker Johnson not giving up on a play. Just because you get beat doesn't mean you can't get back into the play.
Ah, that's Nick Clifford. That's Nick Clifford. What a half by Colorado State. Hottest team in the Mountain West, no question about it. Martinez three, gets it at the buzzer. 49 first half points by the hottest team in the Mountain West, the 2 seed Colorado State, on top of Utah State, the 3 seed, by 19. We saw the deep three.
Turnovers lead to easy opportunities, and Nick Clifford putting an emphasis point on that first half.
Evan is with Jalen Lake. Evan?
Jalen, hot start to this game. What's led to the offense having this type of first half?
I think it's just come down to our physicality and rebounding. I think we're limited to one possession right now. We're doing a good job of that. So we got to keep up on the defensive end.
Yeah, when you're up this big, what's important to remember as you go into this locker room, but more importantly, when you take the floor in the second half?
Flush it. It's 0-0 coming into this next half, so we got to be ready to go and come with a new physicality.
Jalen, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Evan. I think Utah State would concur with that. They want to flush that first half and regroup for the second half. 19-point lead for Colorado State. Coming up after these messages, AT&T at the half. Wake up back there in New York. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network. Second semifinal, Mountain West. Winner of this game gets Boise State in the final tomorrow on CBS. And Colorado State with a 19-point lead going into the second half. Rich Waltz, Dan Dickow, Evan Washburn joins us shortly. Look, we knew they were hot. Colorado State had won 8 straight. Didn't know they were this hot, though. This first half, pretty impressive.
Extremely impressive. They were clicking on all cylinders. 64% from the field, 8 of 13 from the three-point line. You knew what you were going to get with Nick Clifford. He was great in the first half. 13 points, a little bit of outside action, followed by an emphasis dunk at the end of the first half. But Jalen Lake, their third leading scorer on the season, he was terrific. 13 points, 5 of 7 from the field. He just took what the defense gave him. If it's an open three, you take it. If it's an opportunity drive, you make them pay.
First half numbers, 8 of 13 tells the story. Utah State's a better three-point shooting team than that. Let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Yeah, Rich, heading on his conversation with Jared Calhoun, and I mean, he had some words for his team that I don't think even would work at this time of night. But his point was really that we're going to see what we're made of at this point. They've come back from large deficits before, but it's got to happen quickly.
All right, Evan. Let's see if they can start their way back here with Ian Martinez, Mason Fosleff, Dayton Albury out on the floor. This is Fosleff trying to get some space inside. Hooks it up, misses. Clifford, the great rebounding guard, has got 8 rebounds to go with 13 points.
To Evan's point, you're not going to get it back in one possession. Break the game down into 4-minute chunks between media timeouts. Try to win each one of those, and then by the time you get to the final 4 or 5 minutes, you're within striking distance.
Parker Johnson misses the 3. Joppa with a foul. Well, we tried to do that with the last 4 minutes of the first half, and Colorado State never took their foot off the gas.
Not only did they not take their foot off the gas, they pushed it down and put it into overdrive. That finish was really impactful for Colorado State to extend the lead.
Kano getting the start here in the second half. Albury around the screen, and Kano, who's a good three-point shooter, misses there. Utah State will hang on to it.
And those are the threes that throughout the season they have made. Zoom action off the dribble handoff, collapse the defense, kick it to a very capable shooter, just didn't knock it down.
Well, when Jared Calhoun built this roster, he wanted 5 guys on the floor at all times who could knock down a 3. Joppa picks up his 3rd personal for Colorado State.
Martinez, leading scorer, first team All-Mountain West. 2 of 7 in the first half. Colorado State has done a nice job of limiting his easy opportunities.
Of course, he hit one of the most dramatic shots all year, that 4-point play. The 3, the foul, it bounced on the rim, dropped, and that ended Boise State in Logan. One of the best college basketball games you and I have seen all year.
What makes you give a reason to believe Utah State can come back in that second half where Martinez hit that game winner. They shot 80% from the field against a really good Boise State defense.
Clifford pick, roll, and bucket from Joppa.
Weak side in that zone, nowhere to be found. Joppa, such a big target on that roll to the rim.
Martinez a 3, and it's short. Colorado State doing a nice job on the boards. +5 right now. I'm not sure what Joppa was looking for. He gets the ball back, and it's pried loose by Clifford, who gets it in the corner and hits the 3.
That's just how it's going for Colorado State. Get the loose ball and then find your best player in the corner for a wide open 3.
I'd like to see that on Nico Medved's grease board. Look at those numbers. 3 of 16 for Utah State. They are 37% on the season. It's an offense built around the ability to shoot and make the 3. And they've used it all season long. Offensive foul. Gadarezzi. His second.
Off the loose ball, they get the ball to Kyan Evans, collapses the defense. Anytime there's a baseline drive, automatically get to the weak side corner. Clifford knows it, gets an easy three.
Did you see on that replay as Clifford was receiving the pass, he looked down at his feet and it almost looked like he picked his foot up off out of bounds and reestablished just in time.
Tremendous court awareness. Got to make sure you're 1, inbounds, and 2. And it's a 3. Too many times you'll see the worst shot in basketball, the foot on the line.
Is that really the worst shot in basketball?
It is, analytically. Unless you can make it, because then that's 2 points. If you miss it, doesn't matter. But if you're a shooter, make sure you're behind that line.
Utah State right now in Jerry Palm's brackets, a 9 seed. Clifford streaks through the lane, gets a foul, gets a bucket. What can't he do?
Everything is going Colorado State's way. The finish through the contact. Nate Clifford continues to just put on a display at the Mountain West tournament.
Here's something to think about as well. They've won 8 straight. They're cruising right now. Boise State waits in the championship game. Their last regular season opponent, Boise State. In Boise, tough place to play. Colorado State won that game by 10.
Clifford had a career high 36. So it will be interesting to see if that is the matchup, which it looks like it's trending in that direction. How will Boise State adjust and make life difficult on Nate Clifford?
A lot of time left here. But Utah State has to figure out a way to turn this around. Falslev. Long rebound, Martinez, and he's fouled. Evans' first personal. And this, I mean, this was from the very start. They came out. You look at the bracket. Boise State trailed for a lot of that game. Tyson Degenhardt set the all-time scoring record for Boise State with a terrific effort. And the Broncos, who were part of Jerry Palm's last 4 in, will be interesting tomorrow when Jerry rejiggers the brackets, gets them all lined up, and see where Boise State is.
I can't imagine they're not in now, based on Carolina, who is in a similar position. Texas losing.
That looked bad all over. 3 guys went down hard.
Oof. Crocker Johnson taking out 2 Aggies, Falslev and Martinez, but he may have got the worst of it on that fall.
Crocker Johnson gets the foul and gets a rest.
Yeah, an insult to injury. Not only do you have the hardest fall, you get the foul called on you as well.
Foul on Morton. Well, I mean, look, if Utah State can get themselves to the line, 71% from the line. Morton picks up his 5th team foul.
5 and not even 4 minutes of play. This is a way that Utah State can find opportunities, get themselves into the bonus early, and really put foul pressure on them in that way.
Inside to Anderson. Bemba with the rebound. His first in this game. Bemba, back cut Morton. Muscles, bucket, and a foul, and the rout continues. Timeout. Colorado State is not backing down. Jalen Lake was right. They flushed it. 0-0 coming out. They're playing like it. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. 59-34, sizable lead for the Rams in the semifinal in the Mountain West. CBS Sports Network coverage, conference tournament hoops continues 11 a.m. Eastern. Get up with Toledo and Ball State. 1 seed versus 2 seed for a championship. 9 hours and 16 minutes away. The ball goes up, and the winner gets to the NCAA Women's Tournament.
John Rothstein, will you be watching?
I love the fact that we panned through the studio and found everyone asleep. There was John Rothstein in the background walking with his phone. I'm sure texting to see who's probable or questionable for tomorrow. It's a terrific article in The Athletic on one of our favorites in John Rothstein. That ball's out of bounds. So if you have a chance, maybe here in the second half, to log on to The Athletic. He is part of the heartbeat of college basketball on CBS Sports and CBS Sports Network. (60-34), Colorado State on top. Utah State averages 81 points a game. Allen drives. That won't go, but he gets to the free throw line.
Just seems to be a lid on the basket for Utah State today. A terrific drive from Drake Allen. He circles the cylinder and doesn't drop.
We have a crack staff of researchers at CBS Sports. And they've unearthed a lot of different numbers. The one I thought I would not use was that Drake Allen is one of 17 married Division I players. (60-35). 5 minutes in.
Great catch from Clifford there.
Clifford is such a tough guard, tough guy to defend. He's 6'6", and he's as strong as a 3 or a 4. And he's got the moves of a shooting guard, and Bourne gets in on it.
A crafty scorer. Spent 4 years at Northern Iowa, where he was a double-digit scorer multiple years. He's had a number of injuries he's battled through, but provides a really high basketball IQ and competitive spirit.
False left. Long 3, missed it. Templin got tangled up with Jorgensen.
Those two have been going at it off the ball throughout the night. Anytime someone needs a chance to deliver a blow, they do.
You know, Bourne had the ultimate pro move coming out of Northern Iowa, transferred in, new to the locker room. Before anybody met him, he went and ordered bobbleheads of each of his new teammates and walked into the locker room with a big box and handed everybody their own bobblehead.
It's a way to really break the ice with your teammates. He comes from a great basketball family. His dad, Mike, has been in personnel scouting in the NBA for a number of years.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Because, you know, he had to get photos of everybody, send them to the place that makes the bobbleheads. And everybody was pretty pumped up to have their own bobblehead.
That's awesome.
Did you have?
I've never had a bobblehead.
With that hair?
No, never did. That's dating me, because if you can make them that easily these days.
Falslev is fouled, and he's going to the line. Bourne picks up the foul.
Yeah, I know they're little things, but plays like that, Utah State has been able to finish those throughout the year and make these opportunities a chance at a three-point play, not just 2 free throws.
Utah State, they're not dropping at the line either. There's a ton of time left. I mean, Colorado State doesn't have any sense that they're slowing down. Bourne.
Nice pass.
Nice find. Jorgensen from Bourne. Bourne had a huge night against Utah State. 18 points, 3 threes. On March 1st in that 27-point win. Templin, great find by Allen. False leg with the steal. Oh! He looked like a mini Dan Marley.
That's a great call. Thunder Dan Marley in the passing lane and the one-hand Thunder jam.
Same hair.
Yeah. He plays with the same level of aggressiveness, both ends of the floor.
Lake, Morton, and he's fouled. There's enough time that if Utah State can get it together, they can at least take a shot at it and try to make a run.
And they're going to need more plays in the passing lane leading to finishes like this. But they can be an explosive attack. They just have struggled finishing tonight as well as shooting it from the three. But you get hot, you never know.
Back for Colorado State.
And the other thing to keep an eye on, too, in terms of the scores, it puts Niko Medved in that challenging position of how to handle his bench, because he may have the long view in mind, long being tomorrow at 3 local, about how he wants to sub guys. But if they continue to cut into this lead, as we just saw, he has to get all his starters back in. And those are minutes that will wear on them and impact them tomorrow if they're playing.
And keep in mind that in the net, which figures into the selection committee's formula, margin of victory is important. That's why throughout college basketball this year, you see a lot of coaches leaving starters on the floor, even when they have a big lead, because every little data point counts. Allen jumper, missed it. So Evan, that's a real interesting quandary there. Because look, they're, as we noted, Jerry Palm has him first 4 out. But this is a quad 1 opportunity, and a quad 1 win with a large margin of victory. That's kind of a double play there.
No doubt, Rich, and that's where the conversations we, Dan, yourself, and I have had with Niko over the last few days, they've been of the mindset they have to win this tournament to get in. But do you start playing the metric game that he's been clear he has spent 0 time focusing on? If we believe that to be true over the last 8 hours, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, you're right. That really puts you in a tough spot. I'm of the mind, and Dan, I'd be curious as a player, you just do everything to win tomorrow.
Without a doubt. And I think that's one of the things that the majority of coaches at this point want you in attack mode, not thinking, just going out there and being instinctive.
And speaking of hours, they won't even have 24 hours before the final tips off. Boise State will have a little more rest, but the Broncos have been through the meat grinder in their 2 wins.
They had 2 unbelievably physical games. First against San Diego State, and then the first time my final win against New Mexico, where there was bodies flying everywhere. Them, but not able to finish. Gadarazzi gets him across the arm.
You got to think that right now, Leon Rice and his assistants are watching that game film from last week. Colorado State won at Boise. Here's the resume. They really didn't do anything impactful in November or December. Christmas vacation, though, the holiday vacation, Niko Medved said, was a chance for them to recalibrate and reboot And man, did it ever happen. They got on a really nice run. Obviously, they've won 8 straight coming in here. They're the hottest team in the Mountain West Conference, and this would be win number 24.
And that's an important thing, I think, that needs to be in the selection committee's thought process is this new day and age of college basketball where there's so much player movement through the transfer portal. You're not seeing the best versions of many teams in November and December when you have chances to get, quote, big wins if you're not from a power conference. If you let those slide and you become a great team January, February, March like Colorado State is, it might be too late. And I hate saying that, but it's the fact of the nature and how the metrics game works many times for a conference in 6 or 7 analytically ranked for Ken Palm as opposed to one of the Power 4.
Gattaretzi to the line to compound that for mid-majors or non-Power 4, whatever description you want to use. They can really only schedule those quad 1 opportunities outside their conference in November and December, whereas if you have the luxury of playing in a larger conference, you get more quad 1 opportunities in your league schedule.
And the fact of the matter is you're not going to find a power conference team willing to play a Mountain West team on one of their home floors. This is such a difficult league to win on the road in.
Reaching foul there and a timeout. Colorado State holding their lead right now. The Rams, the 2 seed, from the very get-go have dominated this game. This semifinal in the Mountain West. (66-42). A lot of time on the clock still, but Colorado State comfortable on top right now. Across the pond we go. Later this morning, in most parts, in an EFL showdown. Stoke City, Millwall, going head-to-head, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Catch it right here on CBS Sports Network, streaming live on Paramount+. Dan Dickow will be making a guest appearance on the pregame show for that.
Soccer knowledge will be put to the test, and fans will realize it's next to nothing.
The steal there. Well, stick around. You'll learn something in about 6 hours.
I already proved it by using the term soccer instead of football.
Martinez misses there. Ball's out of bounds. And it goes Colorado State's way. So if it's late night and you're hunting basketball and you've arrived here, Colorado State has won 8 straight coming into this game, the semifinal against the 3 seed Utah State. There's 5 teams in the Mountain West that still have NCAA tournament hopes this late on a Friday night / Saturday morning. Colorado State is one of those. Jerry Palm's first 4 out. Oh, goodness. Casey Evans with a logo 3 almost.
This is 4th of the night. Hit 3 in that first half early, allowing the Rams to extend that lead.
Utah State right now a 9 seed. Albury going to work. Gattaretzi cleans it up. Nick Clifford tonight, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Falslev isn't going to go down easily.
Falslev, one of the best defenders, not just in the country, in the conference, but also country. Top 10 in steals per game, 4 tonight, but he's been unable to convert those into opportunities in transition, which he has on a number of occasions this year.
Demba fouled, hits the shot. 71 points already for Colorado State. So, Dan Dickow, purveyor of all things West Coast basketball. You saw Colorado State in November, December, even early January. What changed? What's different about this group right now that they didn't have back in the first couple months of the season?
Well, I think one is Nick Clifford has completely blossomed into a star. You would have every right to call him the player of the year in the conference. And I know Donovan Dent has been spectacular, but Nick Clifford has been the best player maybe the last 3-4 weeks of the season. He's done that. Other players have really stepped into their roles, embraced them, and starred in those roles.
False left with a 3. Lead is 24. You saw that note. Their largest margin of defeat was that game at Colorado State. Lake lost it. That's a turnover. And Nico Medved doesn't look like a coach that has a 71-47 lead. He wants to keep the intensity, the execution, all of that. Wants to keep it going.
Well, they've been terrific in regards to taking care of the basketball throughout the season. They're a low turnover team, and they've been shooting it extremely well tonight. Close to 70%. Terrific ball movement, player movement, and then the last thing is you got to finish plays, and they have.
Davis gets fouled. He'll get to the line. Nikola Joppa with the foul.
Davis hasn't played a ton of minutes, but he has been aggressive. He's been active in the minutes that he has got. When you look down the box score, the only player on Utah State tonight with a positive plus-minus.
Idaho Falls. It's Isaac Davis's hometown. He's just a freshman. Clifford. Evans around a pick. Clifford was way off. Doesn't happen often.
It's about the only mistake that Clifford has made tonight.
That'll humble you a bit.
It's another example in college basketball about finding the right fit when you go in the transfer portal. He's a Colorado kid from Colorado Springs. Initially went to University of Colorado in Boulder. 2 years. Played good amount of minutes, but saw a better opportunity could be for him at Colorado State, and it's worked out great for him as well as Nico Medved.
That's a really nice play by Albury. Not only to get the rebound, but he knew where Falslev was on the right wing, found him, and Falslev hits another 3, and there's a spark of life, an 8-0 run for Utah State. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. Game summary brought to you by AT&T. 71-52 with 7:50 left in this game. 67% from the field for Colorado State. And for Utah State, it's been a slog. 35% and 5 of 24 from distance. But signs of life, an 8-0 run. Utah State doesn't have a lot of time, so they're going to have to keep hitting shots, especially threes. And a turnover and a timeout. Let's see. Don't go anywhere. 71-52, Rams. Well, the band is trying to get him going right now. 71-52. Daisy Cottage Cheese, we revisit the keys to the game.
Well, Utah State hasn't been able to push the pace. Only 5 fast break points. They've been out-rebounded. And for the Rams, Kyan Evans set the tone with 3 early threes, and that's translated to others getting in on the three-point shooting party. 10 of 18 from beyond the arc.
Falslev was 3 consecutive buckets. Couple threes, that 2. And it's 71-54. 7.5 minutes left.
Well, you're seeing the competitive nature of Falslev sparking this 10-0 run for Utah State. The fans who are still here from Logan believe.
Lake jumper, in and out. Mort, rebound. Lake hops in, Morton cuts, and he's fouled.
Those are killers, though, when you give up offensive rebounds, trying to climb back in this game and make it interesting heading into that final media timeout. Anderson grabs Morton from behind as Morton snuck behind him with a back cut. Might not necessarily be the worst foul, though. Morton not a great free throw shooter on the season, under 60%.
Outstanding pass, and that's one of the trademarks of Colorado State. They play the beautiful game. Their assist rate of 63%, 63% of their buckets have an assist, is 7th in the nation. You noted the assist to turnover ratio. That's 47th in the nation. There's 355 schools in D1. And they're 22nd in the nation in total assists per game. Crocker Johnson picks up his 3rd. Albury coming to the line.
That's one area he has not been able to impact the game that many times throughout the year he has been able to, in regards to pushing the pace, whether after a turnover or a rebound. Had Colorado State back on their heels, creates a little bit of contact, isn't able to finish, but cut into this lead with the clock stopping.
Albury was the ASUN Newcomer of the Year last year as a junior at Queens University. He's a senior, but he played 2 years of junior college ball before getting to Queens. So it's a possibility he has an extra year, depending on how the whole JUCO thing shakes out.
Utah State now extending that zone pressure out to almost half court. The low guys in that zone up near the free throw line to extended area as well.
Clifford turning and missed the shot. And let's see if the Aggies can continue this run. Falslev. Davis, who's played some pretty good minutes, been pretty rugged down low. Albury driving, scoring. How about this? Utah State, little by little, now within 14 points.
Yeah, you get this under 10 going into the final media timeout. All the pressure falls on Colorado State's shoulders. They've already started to play a little bit slower and not play with the same pace that they were earlier to build the big lead.
That's a foul. Nico Medved wanted goaltend. I don't know that it was touched up that high. Certainly, Clifford feels that. Well,
he hit the backboard.
Yeah, and here's the problem, though. They didn't call it goaltending to begin with. You can't review it unless you do call it goaltending.
Exactly right.
Do you like that rule, Dan Dickow?
Well, I understand.
I know it
the
would
reason why.
It's another thing to review. It would slow games down.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's enough going to the monitor as it is in the college basketball game these days. I do like the fact that you can go in the final 2 minutes and really double check everything. I just wish they would put a time clock on the amount of time the officials have to spend at the monitor before they make their final decision. And missed Martinez early coming off that pin down.
Barnes hits a 3. Now this is getting really interesting.
And if you're Colorado State again, you don't want to just play against the clock. You need to play with some force, some flow, some continuity on the offensive end.
The lead was 28, and now it's down to 12, and there's 5 minutes left. That's a foul. Barnes was a walk-on, was going to redshirt this year, and they pulled his red shirt. He's now on scholarship, and he's now playing. Clifford to the line, he gets 2. Mom and Dad are here. Akai and Angelique Clifford. As you noted, Colorado Springs is home. They weren't sure what they had. They thought they had maybe like a little point guard. Junior year in high school, he was 6 feet tall. Had all those point guard skills. And then suddenly, he grew to 6'5". And he's 6'6" now. Couple free throws, 74-60, 28-point lead. That's what it was. And there were no signs of life from Utah State. It was just really a frustrating night for anybody with the Aggies. Jerry Calhoun, his players, but something sparked them, and I think it was Mason Falslev and his grit and determination. And Calhoun told us Falslev is the best competitor he's got on this team, and it's shown. There's a comparison between Clifford and a tough night for Ian Martinez.
Well, Falslev, to your point about his grittiness, he was a very highly recruited football player as well in the state of Utah. He chose to go the basketball path, but he brings a lot of that football mentality to the defensive end of the floor. In particular, gets his nose dirty on the glass, he gets in the passing lanes, and then he ties that into how he attacks the rim in transition.
And Falslev is a sophomore, but he's been in this program for almost 5 years now. Got to campus, redshirted, went to Brazil, a 2-year LDS mission, played last year as a freshman. So he's, I mean, look, he's seen Craig Smith and Ryan Odom and Danny Sprinkle go through here. He's seen all the great guards like Sam Merrill and Stephen Ashworth, Darius Brown from last year.
That's something to note. This Utah State program, they haven't been in the Mountain West the entire time. They were in the Big West for a number of years. 24 total NCAA tournament appearances. This is a very good basketball program with a ton of tradition.
And one of the best home courts in college
Absolutely.
basketball. And I'm not saying in the West, I'm saying in college basketball.
10,000 plus, they sell it out. Great student section. Very loud, a difficult place to go in on the road and pick up a win.
And their fans who have been disappointed all night, the herd, trying to get them rolling, and that's not going to help. Under 5 minutes left here. 14-point lead for Colorado State.
This communication between Templin and Martinez, how to attack that high post in the zone.
Good battle down low, Davis and Bemba. I mean, that's the thing when you talk about the coaches that have come through Utah State and have the success. Craig Smith, you know, started it. Ryan Odom continued it. Danny Sprinkle came through in a whirlwind last year. They all went to the NCAA tournament. But there were terrific players there, and that's one of the things Jerry Calhoun talked about, is the legacy of guys like Justin Bean and Nemish Keita. Talked about Merrill and Ashworth. Osabor and Darius Brown from last year.
And these coaches haven't come to make it a one-year stop. It just so happened that they had so much success right away that other programs at quote-unquote higher levels or programs in locations that fit those coaches had a need, and those coaches fit. Jared Calhoun has really liked his first year in Logan, sees the opportunity to build something great.
Look at Davis going hard. I'll tell you what, this freshman hasn't played a lot this year. but in this game, he's had some time, and there's a lot to like with what you see.
Only played in 18 games up until tonight, but he has been active. He has not shied away from contact either side of the floor. A couple big free throws coming up here.
Isaac Davis at the line. Averaging just 2 points in 5 minutes a game. 75-62. Davis has been perfect for the free throw line. Full court pressure. Down 28. Utah State within 13. They have the three-point shooters on the floor, but if they get some looks, that could help. Clifford, strong, missed it. Martinez, rebound. Falslev in transition.
Bucket here is going to make things very interesting heading into the final media timeout.
Screen for Barnes. Templin. Good defense by Colorado State. Shot clock's down. Barnes to the corner. Davis chucks the three there and misses it. Man, that was a three.
Well, first three-point attempt of the season for Davis. Shot clock winding down. Didn't have much of a chance.
Now Clifford can run clock. Barges his way in. Missed it. Templin has it. Outlet. Falslev ahead of everybody. Hammers it home. Down 28. Utah State gets a little closer.
Terrific outlet pass from Carson Templin, leading Mason Falslev to the breakaway dunk. We get another look at it. He's tired, but he still finishes it up over the rim. Utah State making it interesting.
$28 points back. Now it's 75-64, but down to 3 minutes left. Coming up, our sleepy college basketball experts, Inside College Basketball. Look at Stover. He's got the Kansas State blankie there.
Rothstein, he must be texting a coach, as you mentioned, or tweeting. He actually tweeted just now. Do you call it an X or do you call it a tweet?
Ice
on Colorado State.
Wake up, Ice. Yeah, he did.
Well, this Utah State team has definitely woke up. They have made it interesting with this 24 scoring run. Thanks to Mason Falslev providing a ton of energy down the stretch here.
Also 22 points, 14 in the second half. Colorado State has dominated this game from the very start up until about 5 minutes when this run started. Evan Washburn, you were near that Utah State huddle.
Yeah, I mean, I've been keeping an eye on this sideline as I'm parked right behind it over the course of this second half as the scores started to dwindle and dwindle. And the interesting thing, and you guys have been around in the last few days in this season, Gerald Cahoon has not changed one bit. And he spent that entire time out, not with rah-rah or motivational, it was all on that whiteboard. I mean, he is such a core on scheme and coach, and that's the focus. And he sort of laid out the plan for his guys here over the next few minutes.
There's plenty of time. 3 minutes left. Thank you, Evan. Lake just missed a free throw. Colorado State couldn't miss anything in that first half.
With the three-point shooters that Utah State can put on the floor, you've got to make sure you locate them if you're Colorado State now that you've gone zone.
Falslev is one of those. He's hit a couple big ones here in this comeback. Barnes has hit a three. Martinez is the guy that hasn't been going. Falslev. Templin tip. Yes! Look at this. 10-point Colorado State lead. 2:25 left. Colorado State hasn't hit a field goal in more than 7 minutes. They've been to the line a lot. but they've missed 6 straight shots.
Utah State, you must rebound every possession. Can't allow more time to go off the clock.
Bemba, kick out, and a shot clock violation, which is good for 2 ways. They get the ball back, and Barnes can pick his shoe up and put it back on, because he lost it in the middle of that possession.
Barnes hasn't scored necessarily, but he has been impactful, getting them in the right spots and organized on the offensive end of the floor, as well as defensively. I think he's competed really well here. Has kept Kyan Evans out of the lane.
Last 2 minutes. It's down to 10 from 28. Martinez, he's their scorer. Gets in, bucket, no buckets. Foul before the shots.
Doesn't get the continuation, but being in the double bonus, he'll be at the line shooting 2. That is the most aggressive attack Ian Martinez has had since the first couple minutes of this game.
Ian Martinez shooting 2 shots.
Started his career at Utah as a freshman, then to Maryland, and then to Utah State. This is single digits now.
With the made free throw, allows Utah State to pick up that pressure full court again.
From 28 down to 8. Minute 46 left. Clifford gets it in. Lake. Evans. Stolen! Templin goes hard. Fouled. They can cut it down to 6.
What a change of events here these last 8 minutes or so. The pressure has gotten to Colorado State. Templin, a phenomenal job reading the passing lane, drawing the contact, almost gets it to drop. It would have made fans of Cobra Kai extremely happy had that gone in.
Sweep the leg, big man. Templin, who's limping right now. It almost looks like he's cramping. He is cramping. And they're going to let him shoot the free throw, but sub in for him. He's in a lot of pain. Missed it. Now they can't get him out of the game. And he fouls.
That makes you actually wonder if it's a cramp or if it's something more.
You know, he got to the line without limping, and then all of a sudden, when he was at the line, he was really favoring that leg.
See the land it off, awfully awkward on that left leg.
No field goals, free throws, but no field goals, and Clifford misses one.
Get the ball at the floor quick. See if you can get an early opportunity. If not, try to find one of your three-point shooters for a good look. Probably Martinez or Falslev.
This is Martinez. And it's short. Clifford has it. He's fouled. It's been a frustrating night for Martinez. 2 of 11 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3.
Well, Colorado State locked in throughout the game on not giving good looks to Ian Martinez. That time, 2 Rams converged on Martinez as it looked like he was about to get into a shooting motion. Jordy Barnes may have been open on that left wing, but he's been hesitant to shoot many times when he's caught the ball with opportunities.
15th double-double for Clifford. 24 points. 11 rebounds, 5 assists. The lead is 9. Barnes at 3. Falslev in the middle of it, has the rebound. Launches for the corner. And that's over the backboard. And out of play. 52 seconds left.
Now, if you're Utah State, you might want to play the foul game. Try to influence the ball to Morton, a poor free throw shooter, as he cuts out of the play.
Evans trapped. Morton's wide open. And he'll finish. And that may do it. Back up to 11. Aubrey going to go try to get 2 points. Has the rebound. Lost it. They may review this. Bemba had his hand in there. That dunk is the first field goal.
The out-of-bounds play is under review.
That dunk by Morton, the first field goal in about 9 minutes.
Now, to overturn this, they have to be 100% certain.
Well, the ball certainly changes when it gets to Bemba's hand.
Yeah, I think it hits Bemba's right thumb. So it should be Utah State basketball.
The original call was Utah State basketball. No way to tell, obviously, from that view. Here's a little better angle.
Well, maybe on the follow-through, it does touch.
That's a great
Aubrey after it hits Bemba.
That's a great look right there.
Yeah, it should be Colorado State basketball. That is terrific camera work by our crew.
The call on the floor is reversed, white ball.
Good officiating. Well done. "35 seconds left. Bemba's a good free throw shooter. He's going to get to the line. Colorado State can hit some free throws. They'll start their prep for Boise State.
But you got to give Utah State a lot of credit. They were dead in the water, down 28. It would have been really easy with what I would assume they already are a lock for the NCAA tournament to just throw in the towel. But they have competed. There's no back down there, no quit. And they made it interesting down the stretch for Colorado State.
Colorado State looks like they just need some sleep.
Yeah, quick turnaround tomorrow as well. With this late game, we're pushing near 11:40 Las Vegas time.
3 o'clock tip Las Vegas time. 6 in the East on CBS, Boise State, and it looks like Colorado State. Martinez steps into the 3, hits it. "23 seconds left, 81-72. Boy, Bemba had the ball. He's the guy you wanted to foul, not the guy that's going to be playing in the NBA.
Clifford, after a great effort last night, 25 points, 14 rebounds against Nevada, has been just calm, cool, and collected tonight. 24 points as he heads to the line for 2 more.
Mom and Dad pretty happy. You know, it's Vegas, so you want to go out and celebrate, but I mean, tomorrow's upon us.
Well, after media responsibilities, teams aren't going to get out of here for a good 45 minutes, and then coaches have their prep work. Players got to make sure they take care of their body in the training room with whatever needs they have. So you're right, that 3 o'clock tip comes in a hurry.
And Niko Medved, especially with the charge by Utah State, the starters have had to play the extended minutes. Evan brought that out with a really good point.
Kyan Evans, 33 minutes. Nick Clifford, 35. Jalen Lake, 35. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond against a Boise State team that is extremely physical and has had 2 grinded out wins.
The hottest team in the Mountain West stays hot. 9 straight now for the 2-seed Colorado State. It's Colorado State, Boise State in the championship game of the Mountain West. That's tomorrow on CBS, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Brackets, there you go. A 5-seed, a 2-seed. And 5 teams are in play for the NCAA tournament still in the Mountain West. Jerry Palm's reveal tomorrow morning will be quite interesting. Evan Washburn is down below with Niko Medved.
Well, Coach, win number 9, one of the more unique ones I think I've seen in recent memory. I'm curious, from a coaching perspective, how do you view that game where you go up 28 and then they fight their way back?
Are you kidding me? Like an 11-point win against a NCAA tournament team in the Mountain West semis? I'm ecstatic. And yeah, it got a little shaky down the stretch, but that's a heck of a team, you know, right there. And so I'm proud of our guys. You know, we've been, I think, one of the top 15 free throw shooting teams in the country, and tonight, just one of those nights. But I'm really proud of our guys. We're not going to think about this. We got to play at 3 o'clock tomorrow for the Mountain West Championship. I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, no time for that. So let's get your early thoughts on this matchup with Boise State with a ticket to the NCAA tournament on the line.
You know, we just played them in the last game of the regular season. I mean, they're an incredible team. They're incredibly well coached. They got great players. We were fortunate to make a late run in Boise and beat them. Tomorrow's a new game, and so we know what both teams are fighting for, but this is March. This is what you live for. So we're ecstatic, right? Get an opportunity tomorrow at 3, and both teams don't have a lot of time to prepare. You just put your best out there on the floor and see what happens. And when we're at our best, I like our chances.
Absolutely. Congrats, Niko.
Thank you.
Thank you, Evan. Nice work tonight. That should be a fun one tomorrow on CBS. Andrew Catalon, Steve Lapis, Evan Washburn with a call for that. 83-72 the final here. Colorado State, Boise State in the final. For Dan Dickow, Evan Washburn, our entire crew, I'm Rich Waltz. This is a presentation of CBS Sports Network. 24-hour home of CBS Sports. On to New York. Your wake-up call has arrived.